everyone. Please give me a moment to make sure everything's set on up. I am a little bit behind today, so please give me a moment. I did not have time when I came home to find a handful of replays, so I'm going to find them on the fly. Let's see now. Looks like YouTube's going on up. Rumble's going on up. Twitch is going on up. Twitter is going as well. Looks like everything's starting on up. Give you a moment to check my other computer. Yeah, looks like everything's good to go. Going back, cannot speak. It is going good. Let's try to find a decent replay. Gotta just search them for the good old-fashioned way. Decent length. And seemed decent enough. That's how much I thought I'd given usually when finding replays. And yep. Oh, it looks like it is Mysterious Building. I'm assuming that's some of the labs, but either way, let's get started. Greetings everyone, and Grid here for another Advanced Wars, Days of Ruin, Tiny Wars replay. Oh, come on, don't give me pop-ups. Spawn north side as the Yellow Tabata, we got Dio the Beast, who's not playing Beast. Spawn south side as the Green Greyfield, we have Yoshi Rider. And actually it's more of a left versus right mechanic. This map probably needs a bit of time to take a look at. By the way, let's cover the COs. Greyfield has been has been buffed from the cartridge counterparts, has a boarding cost of 30, guarding 50%, has standard 3, 30, 60, 60. That's all pretty much standard. Of course, has a standard +10/+10 for all units. And his naval units, seaplanes, battlecopters, and CO Zone get +10% offense, +40% defense. So similar to Wayland, he has very beefy battlecopters, as well as seaplanes. So a bit of overlap there, but of course his naval units also get that absurd amount of defense. Additionally, his superpower has been turbocharged. Of course, gets +10+ global, all fuel, ammo, and material replenish, that's all pretty much the same. Gets this, that naval effect also global as well. Here's where he gets supercharged. Temporary airports can now deploy unweighted air units, including seaplanes. Temporary seaports can now deploy unweighted naval units. So you can span multiple units out of a single temporary airport or temporary seaport. Some maps do have temporary airports and temporary seaports, which can be quite advantageous, by the way. Let's see. Tabata's, of course, is the unchanged to the cartridge counterpart. It does have a standard boarding cost, 0 radius, 30, 60, 60. Gets +60% for her CO Zone. Of course, can make that global and fires a storm meteor in a form of firestorm rocket. Tabata is, of course, a CO that has a little bit differences when it comes to her CO zones. When she has 0, she's a duelist. She is assassin/duelist. She's meant to go around and kill individual units. When she gets +1 radius, when she gets 30 energy, so she has to basically kill off 3 units on herself. Then she gets +1 radius, which means she can charge forward, smash through the wall. A unit can push forward with that one CO Zone, smash through the next part of the wall, and then go from there. So she becomes from assassin/duelist to a wall breaker into a nuke. Simple enough to understand her. This map does have mystery buildings. Not sure what it is. I see 0 defense stars here. Probably will figure out when the game first auto-playing, because usually that stuff pops up here. This map does offer 3 bases. It is Fog of War. Do have an airport as well. So quite a bit of stuff down here. Quite a bit of cities seem like it is split across. Good number of shores here. So this area is completely traversable. We do also have bridges here. So this area does have a 4 radius area of traversement, plus the bridges as well, which... Bridge on beach. Does that mean battleships can't cross? What's the movement on that? Okay, it does allow full wheel traversement as well, because in Days of Ruin, wheeled units don't get full traversement like on planes, unlike in the previous games. But this suggests to me it cannot, yes. So sea units, while coastal units cannot traverse, while gunboats and landers still can. So keep that in mind. But also allows full traversement of wheeled vehicles as opposed to the shores, which don't. Okay, so some interesting things going on there. But do also have parameteorites, which will help. See, if you look at this space here, got a forest and the shores. And so it is a little bit slow going for wheeled units, so tanks are probably the ideal unit that up north, as well as flares. There's also beaches here, so this is traversable. That's not a sea, that is beach, so this is traversable. While the rivers, of course, are limited traversal, just only infantry and, of course, air units, of course. So a lot of things going on this map. And the thing I don't understand is the mystery building. It offers no income, no defense, appears to be a whole lot of nothing. Defeat if captured, no. Highlight, no. I don't know what that, I don't know what highlight means. No global attack and defense, so let's just go ahead and start the game. What was that? Sweet corn casserole. These comm towers are an older model. They don't boost defense at all, don't hide units, give no cash. They do make our guns shoot harder though. So these are... Oh, wait. Wasn't that? Could have sworn I saw 0-0 beforehand. Huh, this game also allows traversement capture. So this is old style comm towers, which I believe some players actually like the old style comm towers because it gives plus 10 to offense when... Okay, just cast sweet corn casserole. That does not sound like... I don't know why, that does not sound like an IDS agent. That's just humorous to me. I heard there are some... Because if both players have a comm tower, both players get plus 5% attack and defense, which makes them a bit more of a meh structure when both players get one. But if it's plus 10% offense, it does change math quite a bit. So it allows you to get higher damage. So I heard there's some arguments like the old style comm tower is a little bit better. Also, wait, it did provide 2 defense. Okay, so it did not update until I pressed play. Got it. So I probably should not focus on what it does until I actually start the game. Got it. So these are days or at dual strike comm towers, but they do have 2-star defense or 3-star defense to match the cities in this game. My apologies for my drink open up. Like infantry. Looks like a bit of a different capturing order here. We do have Talbota, which looks yellow here, but looks brown here. Has secured the airport pretty quickly. Mech. I suppose in this part, not part of the map, mech's not half bad. Mechs will have equal damage to meteorites. How much, or to tanks, how much can a mech take out a meteorite? I'm curious a little bit about that. Going to stop the game. No. Mech cannot take that out. It has 3 ammo and... yeah. But I wonder if Talbota is going to go for an early air unit. Early artillery piece. That's interesting. Double infantry. Right now, her income's 11,000, so she could deploy a battle cop next turn, be double base skip though. The artillery pieces may be used to clear out the meteorites, but there's a base here still perfectly fine to produce units and base here to produce units. So taking the meteorites right now is not super important at this exact moment. I think charging 4 is a better option. Sure, destroying these meteorites does give pretty good traversement here. After all, it doesn't have to go through a forest, or yeah, there's a forest going for each direction. But so this base, breaking this open will allow for faster deployment for your units, particularly for your wheeled units, such as the Recon. I don't think you should immediately go for it. I think it's a bit more a later thing. We do also have a rig deployment field. He is Greyfield. Maybe trying to deploy a relatively early temporary port. If they're ever to add in another actual dual strike comm tower, I would see the dual strike comm tower visibility. And it is going to take time to siege down the meteorite. Does put it down to 50 health. So did 49 damage, so perhaps we'll need to put a machine gun round into it, maybe from the flare. There we go. Now the flare should be let loose next turn along with that tank. Now I got a Greyfield Battlecopter, which does have right now plus 70% defense. Talbot has not loaded itself up into a unit, maybe loaded up its tank. Though I always want to see Talbot load up on a Duster. She can start doing quite a bit of good work at strafing infantry units, but that would be very expensive. Does see herself into that tank. I wonder if I think, what would be a good spot for a temporary airport? Maybe he's trying to deploy his temporary seaport here? No idea. Could deploy his temporary seaport here. A lot of things he could do. Oh, there's also a pair of rivers here. Trying to capture some properties there, getting some good kills. Oh, I just realized that 9-4. Granted, it was on a road, but that plus 10% firepower is actually very... It changes the math quite a bit. I don't know if plus 10% firepower is a good idea when it comes to Days of Ruin. A lot of stuff is a little bit more squishy. Maybe plus 5% firepower with no defense could be a good middle ground. Not sure. And here, tank infantry. Good shots there, takes out that unit. Talbot's command tank does get on top of the comm tower. Can comm towers hide units? Does it follow Days of Ruin logic like that? Or can this mystery comm tower? No, mystery comm tower cannot hide units. Excuse me. Excuse me. So that is something to note as well. Does get trapped there. Greyfield's Battlecopter heading down south. Anti-air somewhat close by. Artillery taking time. Tank does get a shot into it as well. Ready to push it forward with the infantry unit. Tank, flare, Battlecopter, infantry. Let's get trapped there a little bit. Good strikes there. Talbot right now has 74,000 versus 90,000. Of course, still has her day-to-day, so they're pretty even at the moment. Just day-to-day differences at the moment. Anti-air bike tank. Good strike there on the meteorite. Tanks advancing. Anti-air as well, of course. Command tank is on top of a forest. Does get revealed there. But nothing to really engage at the moment. Does resupply that infantry unit there. What if it's misclicked? Maybe it's trying to pull a temporary seaport there. Right now, Greyfield has 10 energy. Talbot has 10 as well. Got another Battlecopter tank, infantry. Get some great kills there. She's up to 20 energy. One more kill, she will have a plus 1 CO zone. Doesn't Greyfield's battlecopter is in range, has plus 50% firepower at the moment. Got Rig, Mech, and another anti-air. Good strikes there. This artillery piece is fetching C2 at the moment, so getting some good work done. And the command copter does strike the command tank. Of course, we got the anti-air nearby. She has only 21 energy. Don't think there's a way for her to guess plus 1 CO zone at 5 HP. Recon does take a pretty good strike there. But the anti-air may plus 70% defense is quite a bit. Don't know if that's enough to withstand an anti-air with efficiency 1. It is, but it was to be still alive though. Pulls back the command take on top of the city. Lots of good strikes there. Artillery gets a good strike there as well. Temporary seaport now being established. Could allow him to get a forward battleship or carrier. Forward aircraft carrier, probably not a great idea. A forward battleship would probably be pretty good though. Greyfield's forward takes out some of these units. He's at 32 energy. You get that temporary seaport built before anything happens. Command tank will go down. Great strike there. Of course, this command copter will go down. There's an anti-air there, and there's nothing much he can do to stop at this point in time. Temporary seaport has been established. Command copter does go down, so both players lost their CO unit. Tabata could load herself into a rocket. That would just be firing nukes. Tabata right now has 105 in the field. Greyfield has 119, make that 120, so day-to-day difference. But feels like more in Greyfield's court at the moment. 21,000 versus 22,000, so minor differences there. Anti-air does get shot down, or shot up. And I just realized something, Greyfield deployed out nothing last turn, so he saved. Oh wait, no. He moved his units forward. He didn't. Never mind. Greyfield has established a battleship on the field. Like I said, this is a bridge on the beach. It's not traversable. I wonder if Greyfield did not realize that. He just sealed a black boat. Or not black boat, gunboat. Why? I think the battleship was a mistake. That battleship's way too far back to be super useful. Capital has loaded itself up into a medium tank now. Deletes the gunboat. Still don't know why he sealed the gunboat. Does take the column tower, or at least the infantry unit on top of the column tower. Palpatine's rocket is in an excellent position. Made some good headway down south. Battleship has waited on top of the seaport. I Attack an unassigned aircraft carrier to get forward deployment of seaplanes. Lots of good kills there. It looked like Tabata... never mind. She did get a kill for command tank. Flare pushing forward, infantry and battlecraft heading down south. Mech there. Flare, tank, infantry, and battlecopter. Flare fired there. Greyfield's just being a little bit defensive there. Decides to seal the battlecopter. Battleship waits again. Yeah, the battleship was definitely a wrong call. Tank, battlecopter, infantry. Tabata's turn. Rocket is in range. Exit the veteran tank. Does get trapped there. Now she's at 18 energy, so needs to make 2 more kills in order to get her CO zone increased radius 1. Infantry, flare, tank. And the battleship has struck the command tank, but of course it's a Tabata command tank, getting a lot of extra defense. Infantry, battlecopter, infantry, tank. Starting to push down south, has a good line of infantry and support units. The flare has 1 ammo remaining. Command tank does fall back onto the city. Gains some good kills on south, trying to flip some properties. Good strikes there. Trying to flip multiple properties. Greyfield does have a 2,000 income lead, and this artillery piece is at max veterancy. Another rocket deployment field. This map does go down to not so narrow strips, with a rocket help zone out entire flank. Rockets are not necessarily half bad on this map, it looks like. A lot of cities for them to hide in as well. Greyfield against good power charge here at 31 energy. Does spot the rocket there, but within its minimum range for a good number of assets. Does put a bit of machine gun rounds to it. It is on top of the hit column tower, which is not a hiding spot. Battlecopter starting to push way forward, as well as some more infantry. Infantry, tank, infantry. The damage there. Command tank's at 9 health. Command tank gets a good shot there at 20 energy. 2 more, and he'll get her CO zone increased radius. Mech could get a good strike on that tank. Artillery tank. Flare did fire there. Good strike on the recon. And Greyfield now has a CO power. You can activate that. Decides to nuke the rig. And you can forward deploy something out from this temporary port if he pops it. And bit of damage there onto the rocket. Command tank has taken more of a beating. And trying to flip the con tower now. After that is right now 114 versus 148. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. Takes out the battle copter there, takes out some of these outlying tanks, stops that capture, rocket fires away, takes out the capturing squad, takes out that tank. Great counterattack there, and always. Oh, she also has +1 radius. That's why that flare did so much damage to the anti-air. It's now supercharged. Another rocket, maybe a little too slow. It's going to try to head down south with that thing. Artillery gets a good strike on the command tank. Taking out would be very, very beneficial. We'll probably use command copter for that. Does not take out that tank there. It's right now down at 4% health. Making good headway down south. It looks like he will unable to take out Talbot's command tank. Of course, it'll be a bit difficult to get that healed on up, and she needs 48 more energy to get out her superpower, and that's going to be a little bit difficult. Pulls back the command medium tank all the way. May just pull out another medium tank, just merge onto it. Anti-air tank infantry. Pops his superpower. So now he does have some global benefits. Does get blocked there. And there. So putting the battle cup and striking that tank. So, pretty good luckiness by Talbot down south, but she's starting to get overran. We may see a forward something here. Waits on top of the temporary seaport. Good shots there. Looks like Talbot's command tank just going to stay on the back. Tank, recon, battlecopter, bike. Brayfield's command copter went down south. Good strike there on the battlecopter, and there's, well, Talbot's starting to disintegrate a little bit at 130,000 versus 170. She's starting to fall behind. She has to rely on that superpower. That's why I think she should have got a medium tank out and merge the medium tanks forward, because she needs her command tank pushed forward and get her superpower going. Because a Sturm Meteor would be very good at calling forces. It will probably strike down here rather than hitting the battleship, though the battleship is an expensive asset. This costs 25,000. She just asked for a missile that's a little bit too slow at this moment in time. I can understand going for a battleship down south. Oh, there's two shores there. That's traversable. I did not realize that. Getting some good strikes there. It here does a good strike with the artillery piece. Tank, battlecopter, tank, infantry. Except that a couple of those units here, Talbot's command tank sort of creep her way forward. And looks like she just outright designed the sand grade, saying think watching, and on to the next replay. Wrong button. That's quite a bit of moves. Yeah, let's go for it. Greetings everyone, and Great here, spawn on the north side as the gray or black Forest Sith. We got 0 billion. Spawn on the south side as the green Hawk. We've got Skylar SK. Forest Sith is of course unchanged for the Cartridge counterpart. Does have 50% boarding cost, 5 radius, no expansion, 0 energy, and his CO zone provides +20/+20. Nice and simple. She can be basically be loaded up by any unit, be very useful. Hawk is more or less a custom CO. For Days of Ruin, definitely a custom CO. 50% boarding cost, 2 radius, has 3 expansion, 30, 70, and 120. And his CO max energy is of course 120. He does in the CO zone, let's see, which is a radius 2, provides +20% offense, +10% defense. Hawk, of course, usually provides all of his units +10% offense. Of course, he does have the standard default +10/+10 as well. So it's more or less combining those two aspects. And of course, his CO power, which is at 50 energy, provides a global and provides +1 healing. And of course, all enemies get -1 healing, so it's Black Wave. And for his superpower, it costs 100 energy, while he does have a maximum of 120, so he can have a bit of extra storage. All units get, of course, the +20/+10 and 2 healing, while all enemy units get -2 health. And that would be the Black Storm. Either way, let's take a look at this map. This map is relatively large. We do have a pair of... looks like player 1 starts 2 bases. Yeah, both players have 2 bases. And with a third here, we do also got 2 seaports and an airport. Quite a bit of open ground or open sea here. We do have some beaches here. We do also have some temporary seaports, which a Greyfield player could have used. We have meteorites here surrounded by plasma. I'm pretty sure the plasma will get cleaned on up if the meteorite goes down. Both players have a gunboat, and I just realized something as well. You can see here, this space is not easy to exile. You have to load up units inside of inside the gunboat or inside of a lander. So this is pretty much just going to be an infantry base there. Of course, got 2 seaports. Don't know why there's 2 seaports. 2 seaports seem a little bit overkill to me. We do, of course, have the airport as well in the corner. So this map may not be half bad for a carrier, because for the more forward deployments and healing reinforcements. Pair of comm towers in the corner as well. Both players do start off with Black Bow on top of their HQ, just to make sure it's just a basic don't randomly capture this unit or HQ unit. This map is quite large. It's going to be a bit of time for both players getting to actually fight each other. We do now have the Greyfield bike on the field. Not Greyfield, Forest Sith. tank, bike, infantry. So do have both players now have a tank on the field. There's actually a decent amount of properties here. Got a line of cities here. So this map is probably very high in resources, to say the least. Anti-air infantry. Battlecopter up in the corner. So first battlecopter in the field. Can cruisers refuel and heal copters? Probably not. I don't know why that just popped in my head. Let's see a conflict next turn. And we do have Hawk load himself up into an anti-air of all things. That's interesting. I wonder how that changed the map when hitting infantry on defense star terrains. Hopefully quite well for him. Now the first strike there. Bikes heading down south, battlecopter in the well. Does go for a full lander. This will help him push units very far, very quickly. After all, tank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even medium tank could be loading that lander on the same turn after it gets a lander there. Battlecopter, tank. It looks like Forsyth will be behind, flip some properties up north. Lander will take a bit of time to get up there. I wonder... I'm assuming just it wasn't fast enough to reach this one beach tile. I wasn't paying close enough attention to see how far it can actually move. Good block there. There's something intriguing out there. One shot, so it looks like in Hawk loaded CO anti-air unit can one-shot on a 3-star terrain comm tower and infantry unit. Very nice. Wait, was that not one-shot? Did the bike there spot? Okay, my memory's not great right now. Man bike up north. Trying to capture that comm tower now because a good strike on the gunboat. Battlecopter does risk the anti-air, does forward deploy the infantry and tank there. So striking that tank there allowed him to safely deploy out his tank. That's probably why he did it. Anti-air recon battlecopter. You now have a Hawk rocket on the field. Takes the bike there. Trying to stop the column tower from being captured. Looks like Forsyth may get both of these column towers. Going to capture there. Gets a good strike on the command anti-air. Bike does go down there. Hawks are now at 31 energy, pretty close to a black wave. It may be good to just say go for black waves when we're trying to go for black storms. Oh, what? A war tank? So it looks like Hawk has now deployed out, or Forsyth deployed out, a war tank of all things. His command bike may go down. If it would go down this turn, he would be able to seal inside his war tank. But that simply will not be the case, though for Forsyth, he does not have to seal himself into the most expensive unit. He can just seal himself up in a smaller unit, then provide the ore to a lot of nearby units. Granted, sealing himself up into a war tank would also make a max event immediately. Forsyth now has both comm towers, so now he has plus 10% attack and defense global. Medium tank, A-tier, and mech. Mech's interesting. War tank is moving on the left side, not to the lander, so he's going to be eyeing to just engage the left flank. He also see himself up on top of the HQ. And looks like Hawk will obtain the northern comm tower. Hawk's rockets push way forward. Does get a missile in the field. That's interesting. I suppose the missile could try sitting up and lock on the airport. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it just needs to be right there, and it can lock down the airport. Vision will be another matter though. Forsyth making some good gains in the middle of the map. Goes up with the medium tank and the A-tier into that lander. Of course, could deploy itself right in range of the rocket. And Black Wave seemed relatively useful for Hawk right now. He's at 72 energy, so he's getting great energy charge at the moment. We now got 30,000 versus 25, so Hawk has a massive income lead. Oh, I just realized that's a fighter. I think a Duster would be... I'm a bit more biased towards Dusters of all things compared to fighters. Because sometimes you just need to just go around and hit infantry and battlecopters. Fighters, of course, do one thing and they do it well. Just destroy aircraft. But Hawk has now put out Bomber. Forsyth does spot the fighter, if that means anything. The fighter might be in range of that battlecopter. It is in range of the battlecopter. Of course, it has Hawk have to deal with that anti-air. Speaking about anti-air, his command anti-air may need to fall back and pop his power. He could try getting 8 more energy for a superpower, which may be a good idea. In fact, the fighter itself could provide that. After all, CO zone does spread out pretty far, and there's nothing much a fighter can do to defend itself versus or battlecopter can do to defend itself versus the fighter. So I think this fighter should just charge forward, take out the battlecopter, fall back to CO unit, and then pop the Black Storm. If the anti-air, which is a safer option, but now he has 109 energy. If he just needs to he can squeeze a more power charge. That would be great, and does have max power charge. Fall back, pop the Black Storm. You can see here he does retain the 20 energy left over, so to have now Black Storm activated, calling quite a bit of fall value out of Forsyth. 112 versus 154 now. Also got a bit of health regen there as well, so the command AT is now at 5 health. Does get trapped on the medium tank. Takes out the gunboat there, so managed to pick that off. I always forget how fragile gunboats are, because they seem like more of torpedo boats to me. Now got a war tank deployed out by Hawk as well, but I don't like the deployment. Unless he's going for a lander next turn, he probably should deploy out the war tank there. I just realized something. I forgot to activate my chat windows from the start of the stream. Nobody chatted yet so far. I'll worry about the next replay. Just gotta keep an eye on that. Because I have a little chat window for those who are just joining the stream that displays everybody who's chat. Of course, I forgot to turn that on at the start of my stream. Oops. Good strikes there. Lander falling back. How much damage does a Vet 2 Battlecopter do to a lander? Speaking about Battlecopters, this Battlecopter pushes right forward. Only 27 damage. Bomber now advancing. Of course, Hawk does also have a missile there. CO's into the command war tank, and definitely should have deployed the war tank there, in my opinion. I could see him pulling out there, then pulling out a lander, get loaded up in there, then deploy something else there to get loaded up on in. Get some good strikes. Infantry pushes his way forward. Rocket's on 2 ammo, so it's got some good work out of it. Medium tank is, of course, in range of the rocket, and does have vision range of it. I always forget that medium tanks in this game has 2 vision range. Battlecopter hits the Battlecopter. While this turn's going, I'm going to try to turn on my chat windows, because I need to do that. Right now, stuff's just pushing its way forward. Getting some good damage there. And there we go. That should be all good. My apologies. Bomber now advancing. Missile does get in top of the forest to hide away along with the flare there. Good strikes on the medium tank. His regular tank gauge this tank up here. Fighter picks off the Battlecopter in a safe position. This anti-air cannot retaliate, but this cruiser can. Of all things I got deployed out last turn, it was a cruiser, which somehow is going to be useful against the fighter. I'm pretty sure cruisers got buffed in Days of Ruin, right? It now more reliably one-shots air units. Let's see. Yep, it will one-shot the fighter. Very nice. And cruiser costs 1600, while fighters do cost 20. So that was a good trade. And now he has a very powerful static AA, or somewhat static AA. Just probably put on top of the reef and just keep it there until he needs it again. He is going to be a bit more cautious of the lander though, because since it's wounded, he's going to traversing the reef back and forth, so it doesn't randomly get picked up by a stray Battlecopter. Good strikes there. A lot of the stuff is quite wounded. This war tank is now on top of a property, so we'll get healed on up from the Black Storm from Hawk. Bit of flare there, we'll spot a whole lot of nothing, which can be a good thing. Finish off the medium tank there. Bomber strikes the mech. Infantry strikes the tank there. Missile creeping its way forward. Right now, Hawk does have 30,000 versus 24,000, so Hawk has a pretty good advantage at the moment. But his CO loaded war tank is still taking his sweet time to get to the front line. And he reached the back line. Now the bomber, infantry, and medium tank. That's getting that really high income state. Forsyth needs to get the capture game going. He is very far behind. That's just overall a good choice. Help deal with a bomber, cheaper than taking out a fighter. And you know he shot down his opponent's fire. Hawk has deployed another bomber. Of course, that's with our cast division. Do now this war tank here. Backing on off. Hawk's turn now. Takes out the T-copter. Bomber takes out the command bike for extreme overkill. Duster in range of that bomber. And this infantry unit here will provide just enough spotting for the Duster to engage the bomber. Of course, if it does engage that, he will be retaliated by the missile. Another fighter as well as a rig applied for a temporary airport. Green has pulled out a battleship here, but of course this area is shore, so it'd be hard to traverse there. Good strike on the bomber, but it is not cost effective because the missile will one-shot that Duster. And Dusters cost what, 1,300 or 13,000? Bombers were 20,000, so it only got half damage there, so that's 10,000 damage. I've got a missile here. Tank infantry. Duster gets shot down by the missile. Now that's 2 kills with Duster. Bomber gets good strength in the war tank. It looks like Hawk is starting to run away with the game. His CO war tank is now finally advancing to the front line. Fighter and bomber are both advancing. Medium tank, and base skip. Does take out the battlecopter with the anti-air, which will be or a missile, which will be a base skip or base block. Trying to flip some properties. Cruiser lurking around. Yep, I think some deployment of a tank and infantry would be quite nice, or a bike to help capture those cities down there. Bike does get in the lander. Fighter, tank's walking inside the lander. Fighter's gonna push his way forward. Does take out the meteorite, which leaves the plasma behind. War tank does get struck. It's on top of the city, so will get repaired. Bomber advance way forward. War tank's at 10 health, so it's not like he just machine gunned with one of the bikes. Takes out some of these outlying units down south. I've got mass medium tanks by Hawk that may be a little bit too slow to the front line. I really think Hawk should have gone for a lander and help push those medium tanks forward. Does interrupt some capture there. Forces a command tank for 4. Great strike on that bomber. Another Forsyth fighter deployed in the field. They just loaded that missile up into the lander. That's a little bit risky, I would say. Missile could be quite nice to be sneaking along the flank, but it would be difficult to get that missile in a good position. Maybe on top of this forest here. Hawk's command tank pushed forward. Medium tank's a little bit far behind. Battleship getting resupplied. We saw that tank there. Get some more shots on in. Does get to 37 energy. Rocket is in range. They've got the Forsyth command tank in, ready to support the rocket as well, so a little extra firepower never hurts. Rocket gets good strike there. Artillery as well. Takes out the Hawk war tank, command tank. Pretty good counterattack there. Green just lost so many assets there. but still, Hawk has still a sizable income lead. Battlecopter infantry tank. And there is a tide of medium tanks pushed before. This is probably the game I've seen the most amount of medium tanks on one point of time in the game. This missile may just want to fall back to this city tile there. I just don't know what would be a good spot. He spots the missile there. I just don't understand why he pushed forward the missile like that. Interrupts the capture there. Good shot. War tank is a good shot there. Finish some of these outlying units, get some good kills. Fighter heading down south, trying to get in range of this fighter. Just staying out of range though. Takes out that medium tank. Command tank straight forward, just trying to do it quickly. He could delete his gunboat there and put a medium tank on top of it to get it sealed. Still got a good number of medium tanks down south. Hawk or Forsyth does have a good number of regular tanks. Recon pushing down south. Battlecopter or T-copter and Battlecopter gets pushed forward by the cruiser. Very nice. You know, this is one of the few maps where you could use a cruiser to push forward your battlecopters quickly. Man, weird. Tank, we've got 2 tanks going in the field. Remember some of these tanks, we've got a good number of veteran tanks by Forsyth. That's very nice. He has a lot of veteran units. The missile takes out the battlecopter. The fighter can take out the T-copter. Will be in range of the cruiser and will get one-shotted. Expensive loss. Battlecopter, medium tank, regular tank, infantry. Another one shot there. So nice seeing cruisers actually being useful. Takes the battlecopter there, but okay, that's out of range. Greyfields or Forsyth is not being manged. Granted, there's a fog of war as well, so you never know exactly where the missiles are, because there's a good number of hiding spots for the missile to hide in. Got a flare there. Now we do have a Forsyth bomber. Spots of war tank there. Rocket and tank now push along the flank. This city will be captured next turn, unless this gets fully stopped. Tank, battlecopter. Going for a mobile force, get quick reinforcements. CO's the bike there. Good strikes in the Hawk command tank, does take it out. Puts a round into the missile, but only wounding it. Does get trapped on the anti-air. Takes out some of these outlying units. And looks like the Hawk medium tanks are getting hit pretty hard. I think it was a bad idea to go for those medium tanks. They're just so slow to get onto your opponent's side of the map. Regular tanks would be, and battlecopters would be a better option just to get higher, faster reinforcements. Because he didn't go for a land until recently, so... Good strike on the max event artillery piece. Good counterattack there. Of course, still got 6 health war tank and a rocket in range. Bit of a merge there. $25 versus 31, so Hawk still has far superior economy. Medium tank, battlecopter. Spots a bit of everything. Bomber advancing. Has not refound the missile. The battlecopter there, so this is going to push forward 2 battlecopters. I love to see that, because this is probably the only map we can do that on. Takes out the artillery piece and the tank there as well. Pretty good counterattack. Put it around the flare. Gunboat does see a shot there. Does spot the bomber. The missile is exposed. Or not if Forsyth will spot the missile. The missile can easily spot airliners. I know that for sure. Oh look, is that a civilian airliner? Anti-air infantry battlecopter. Does get a pretty good shot there on the missile. Deletes his own gunboat, so he gets his spike there. He still some of these outlying units there. Bomber nukes the unit there. Finish off the missile. Great strike there. Forsyth's making a pretty good comeback right there, but Hawk still has more assets in the field. And Forsyth has still a tank or a missile on the flank with some tanks. Push forward infantry and recon. Push forward the 2 battlecopters. I love that. Anti-tank. I guess Forsyth is going to be on the defense here. Anti-tanks are good on defense. Get a decent amount of roads from the push forward as well. It is a wheeled unit. Got now a fighter deployed in the field. Gunboat now on top of the property to get healed on up and pushing forward some infantry. Bike there. Bike. Yeah, let's finish off that tank there. Forsyth's turn. Hawkins turn of 155. Forsyth's turn of 185. Takes out the battlecopter. Takes out that unit there. Got some good headway made. Does not range the rocket. Does range the rocket. Nuking it. The battlecopter is here. It is revealed. Hawk has lost quite a bit there. Has 5 engines, so very far away from superpower or regular powered. Getting some good strikes there. And looks like Hawk's going to make an opportunity to go for that comm tower. And some of these outlying units. We also now have Veteran C2 fighter here. This fighter is in range, of course out of vision range of one's opponent. Tank, bike, missile, and medium tank. Takes out some of those units. Missile's a great position there. Takes out the CO unit, which he may just load himself up into maybe into the medium tank. Don't think it would be a good idea to load himself up into a missile. Missile will be in range, not of that bomber, but will be in range of the fighter and the battlecopter. So Paul will take out the fighter, then the fighter can take out a battlecopter, or take on the bomber. That's probably a better option. Got double anti-air here. One battlecopter goes down. Missile does not take out the max vet. I disagree with that. I think he should have gone for the bomber. Does finish off the battlecopter there and the fighter. Battleships gain some good kills. The thing is, well, the battleship is somewhat expendable. It's a powerful asset, but not really can provide too much more fire support. Bomber, bike, bike, and the missile was a base block. Does prevent the capture. Bomber does fall back, gets a good strike there in the medium tank. Cruiser is actually getting low on fuel. Anti-air, tank, battlecopter, bike. It's on one of those battlecopters. Medium tank falls back to a city. Takes on another battlecopter there. Fighter pursuing the bomber. Strikes the command bike. Takes out the command bike. Rocket is in range of the war tank. Hawk bomber pursuing up north. Rocket tank. CO's into a rig. That's a little bit desperate. But at least you can just go around, just making sure stuff gets resupplied. Maybe eyeing for temporary port or airport. Quite a bit of stuff over here now. Medium tank, bike, recon. APCs load up with a missile and a rocket, so a lot of valuable assets there. Got a rocket and flare. Picks up the battlecopter there. Puts some basic rounds with this rocket, doing 8% damage. Takes out a number of these outlying units. Forsyth is still behind. But not by too far now. Got tank, battlecopter, gunboat, tank, and infantry. Rocket, that's a good strike from the anti-air. Missile and rocket over there. Tank push way forward. Bomber strikes the tank there and finishes it off. Does not spot the rocket nor the anti-tank. There's only one anti-air in range. Nothing else for anti-air capability. Medium tank infantry. Takes up the bike there, as well as a tank. Bomber does a good shot. Trying to deploy temporary airport, but will take an extra turn. Good strikes down south, pushing down the infantry unit there. Missile now push way forward. Recon and bike as well. Does get those units loaded on up, push way forward. Only drops off with the medium tank, not the regular tank. I guess that missile was pushed to the wrong spot. Alright, let's get a good round onto that bomber. Hawks now at the 37 energy. Medium tank pull on the field. Here and medium tank. Tank does fall back. Takes out the bomber there with a 3 health anti-air. There's the rocket. The bomber still has a 5 health, but nothing really to stop it from going down. Helicopter infantry, anti-air, medium tank. More forces push the way forward. Got fired at now, pulled on the field. Gets a good round onto that bike. Anti-air. Does take out the bomber there. Hawk ends turn for 135,000. Forces starts the turn of 205. Good shot there and finished off the comm tower. Tank getting down south, gets a good shot there. Hits that unit there as well. Battlecopter gets a good strike from the command medium tank. Rocket gets loaded on up. T-Copter gets inside the cruiser, push the way forward, boosting it. And now Forceps Wild Bomber. Oxo has 31,000 versus Forceps 25. Rocket did a good strike. Did get a good strike on the anti-tank. Let's get the command rig. I also did surround this battlecopter here. Pops the black wave. Do 1 damage global. Of course, get him 1 health repair global. Rocket and medium tank now pulling the field. Gets a good strike on that bike. Bomber CO'd and pushing down south. Mercs the anti-airs. Wartank gets on top of a city. Got the rocket and the missile over here on top of cities, as well as an infantry unit there. Infantry, bike, mech. Medium tank push up north. That is in range of the rocket. Just matter not if he has vision. Get some good strikes in the center of the map. We of course have the medium tank at 9 health. Battlecopter does take a bit of damage there. Does spot the medium tank down south, thanks to the vision of the comm tower. Does put a round into the meteorite. Does look at the command or the regular rocket there. Good strike on the medium tank. Finished off with the tank. Takes out the infantry unit there as well. Some good picks over here. Missile is spotted, but not necessarily will receive any damage this turn. Tank. Battlecopter. Tank. And nothing. Fighter takes out the T-copter, takes out the unit there. Does not spot the command bomber just yet. That probably does have vision up now. It's on top of woods, and you can see air units on top of woods. And this missile is in the range of the fighter. And last time I checked, missiles do have excellent vision range. Yep, he does have vision of this fighter there. So takes the fighter there from the missile. Very nice. Seeing a lot of good missile play in this game. Takes the command medium tank there. Rocket push way forward. Good strike on the missile. And Forsyth now has more value in the field than Hawks, who's making excellent gains. Does get trapped there, but it's just a 1 health battlecopter. Probably meant just to be scouting out. Anti-air tank flare. Good strike there onto the command bomber. Now we've got command anti-air. Battleship could strike that recon and knock it out, getting max efficiency. For all that's worth. Takes out that unit there. Finish off the recon with not the battleship. Hawkins served 193, Forces served 199. And Hawks starting to lose some of these medium tanks there. Good strike there. Got a full veteran war tank now pull on the field by Forsyth. Good strike there on the war tank. Duster advancing. The max veteran war tank is about to go on down. I'll need to fall back into healing. Fighter, tank, mech, bike. Hawk still has a far superior economy to Forsyth. Good strike there. And now Force is going to try to start flipping some properties. He has free range up north. He also has both column towers as well, so getting +10/+10 global. Command bomber does take out that bike. And looks like the gunboat does take out a round from the war tank. War tank's maybe out of ammo. Nope, it's down to 2 ammo. Rocket infantry bike. Takes out the battlecopter there. Takes out the war tank. X-12 enters the moment. Good strike there onto the unit. And the ATR does have a good hit there as well. Medium tank bike. Good strike there on the ATR. Command bomber does finish it off, but will probably be taken out by the Duster. Though the missile may be in range of the Duster. No, it's not. Now it is. Battlecopter rig. Infantry. Does 12,000 remaining, so maybe medium tank? And regular tank. Takes out the ATR there. Fighter finishes off the bomber in range of the missile. Duster will probably put a round into the battlecopter. Note the... Does interrupt the capture there. How does ATR not take out this battlecopter? +10/+10 global. So it had 10% defense. It is down to 5 HP, so it wasn't necessarily close as going down as well. Rocket and missile both get a kill there. Gets a good strike on his opponent's rocket. Pushing forward with the infantry in there with the gunboat. Forces at 20,000, Hawks at 156. And Forces making some good gains on the left side of the map at 27,000 versus 29, so Hawk's economic advantage is also shrinking as well. Battlecopter artillery recon tank. Bomber heading up north. Rocket trying to get some repairs there. Good strikes there. Now I've got a war tank to go in the field. Anti-tank infantry. Does get trapped there. And it gets machine gunned a little bit. Lots of property capture there. Now Forsyth has an economic advantage. 30,000 versus 26. And started threatening more property as well. 2 more turns. Next turn he could get another pair of flips. We do have a bomber in range of one of them. Is a Duster. Cruiser needs to fall back to some refueling, down to 30 fuel. And he's going to push forward another pair of battlecopters with his cruiser. Very nice. Bomber gets trapped there. And Green does resign after that. This Angrade saying, "Thank you for watching," and on to the next replay. Please give me a moment. I do need to utilize the restroom. One moment, please. My apologies, I'm back. Let's see. Not that button, I always hit that button. Let's see. This one I just did. I already did one with this person. Oh, we can do this one. That's the same map as well, so I think this is a relatively new map and people are playing it. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and great here with another Advanced Wars Days of Ruin Tiny Wars replay. So on the south side is the red Cyrus, we've got Chopstick. On the north side is the blue Judy, we've got Buster Beachside. Either way, let's get started. This map is a triple base map with double seaport and one airport. I've only casted one game on this map so far, and I have seen some funny things where you can actually use... some sort of bug involving deployment or something. What? And I can't exit out of this. I can, one moment, I need to reload this. Let's... I wonder. Let's just let that play for a moment. Take a look and see what caused that. Infantry, of course. Will that pop up again? It would have popped up, that air would have popped up by now, so that may have been just a one-time fluke. Alright. Alright, let's go ahead and start back over. Greetings everyone, and great here with another Advanced Wars Days of Ruin Tiny Wars replay. Spawn on the south side is the red Cyrus, got Chopstick. Spawn on the north side is the blue Judy, got Buster Beachside. When it comes to COs, Judy is a custom CO, does have reduced boarding cost, 3 radius, 0 max energy, 0 expansion, no power nor superpower, just has plus 20% offense and 10% defense, and also you get 30% salvage for dealing damage to units from your CO zone. Cyrus is of course technically a custom CO, 50% boarding cost, 3, 30, 60, 60. Additionally, he does have a plus 15%, plus 50% offense and defense. So somewhat similar, got 30% in total here versus 30% in total here. Additionally, he has a superpower that allows him to turn a CO unit back to an unload unit. Your CO unit may board any unweighted unit anywhere on the map for no boarding cost, allowing him to tech up his CO unit. And of course, you get a little bit of a weak missile to cast on your opponent. Either way, let's get started. This map is a 3 base, 2 seaport, 1 airport map. I've seen some fun things where players are able to utilize a cruiser and boost the battlecopters forward as a possibility. I've only cast this map once before, and it was definitely a very interesting replay. This map is loaded with properties, so it's somewhat of a higher fun map. A lot of open ground in the center, but it's pretty far away. This base here is very far away because it go all the way around, incentivizing land deployment or just using the gunboat to go back and forth. And yep, that pretty much sums up this map. Both sides spawn more infantry, and we'll see something strange from my stream. Just give me a moment. There we go. That's why I have another computer to view my stream, just in case. course, we're doing now the first bike on the field. Palm Towers can be captured up by either player. This one's actually a bit farther away from the northern player, while this other one's farther away from the southern player. The gunboat does quickly even out the distance. Early recon deployed by Cyrus. He may load himself inside that recon, maybe not. For Judy, it doesn't really matter what she loads up herself into. Anything that just can stay out long enough to get a salvage is good for her. Though she doesn't have to really deploy something out immediately. This map is very large, so she could always be deployed up into a battlecopter or tank a little bit later on. A lot of planes to the map, so it'll be a little bit more difficult for wheeled vehicles, though there's still a decent number of properties as well as roads as well. But it's not continuous roads. You now have a recon deployed up north, as well as more bikes. Cyrus has loaded himself up in that first recon. On the right side, looks like going to try to recon rush the column tower to prevent it from being captured. But right now, Judy is not going to capture it. Tank in pair of infantry. Tank, recon, and infantry. Cyrus has captured the northern comm tower. Judy has not even started capturing her southern comm tower. And Cyrus should be able to stop it from being captured on up. There's nothing much Judy can do at the moment versus this command recon. Command tank now pulled up north. And Cyrus is starting to try to, or Judy's trying to claim some central properties. And looks like Judy may be able to flip this comm tower. Cyrus may need to stop capturing the city to interrupt it. Let's see what it does. Capture or interrupt. Problems interrupting does not result in any sort of follow-up. The gunboat will have to need to push another infantry unit up there. Does interrupt. Does get 6 damage. This bike may need to charge forward to hit that infantry unit. Pulls back the bike there. Recon smashes that infantry unit, so it does fully stop the capture. And looks like Judy does spot the command recon, as well as another recon there. Got, of course, Judy's recon down south. Maybe a quick battle copter could be helpful to push down south. Command tank charging the center. I think it's good strike down that infantry unit there. Catch the temporary seaport's not important, does not provide any sort of income. Battlecopter, anti-air. Good shot there. Tank, anti-air. Good strike on the infantry unit. Interrupts the capture just by a slight amount. And that property is not going to be captured. Judy should be easily able to interrupt that. Recon straightforward over here. Looks like command tank not pushing over here as well. If the command tank will push over there, a lot of salvage can be done. Tanks starting to creep their way forward. Judy has a good number of tanks this region. Drops a capture is a good strike there. Plus right now Judy does not have comm tower. She will have a comm tower next turn. Tanks way forward and anti-air as well. Both these things can retaliate upon next turn. So Judy had a pretty good ambush lying in wait and decided to counterattack there. And Judy will get this contact capture next turn. The battle cop's compose of an issue for her. Her anti-air is pretty far away. Good strike on both of those. Even takes time to throw the machine gun rounds there. Even fires upon the anti-air as well with the bike. Cyrus does have access to his superpower, which could be very useful, but it'd be hard to say exactly the message should land. Probably right here. Should be able to reach both these tanks. Then he can load himself up into perhaps the battlecopter. So I'll flip some properties here. Battlecopter heading up north. Pops the superpower there. Could have got global firepower, but now Re-CO's nowhere. Yep, does not appear to Re-CO anywhere. Takes out the anti-air. Bike does get a nice little recon pass. Takes the comm tower, so the comm tower is neutral. Judy has a 5% firepower and defense bonus. Takes out the battlecopter there, getting a decent amount of salvage now. And there's a lot of targets here for blue. Decided to fire upon the meteorite. Wait, did she do no damage to the meteorite? Apparently the infantry unit actually did 0 damage to the meteorite. I thought it was at least guaranteed to do 1 damage. Am I crazy? Probably. Good damage there. Against good strikes, but this tank will be retaliated upon. Judy falls off the anti-air. Her command take a push forward, hit that tank. Good strike there. Recon push right forward. Good strike in this tank down south. Cyrus has nothing to stop the battlecopter down south and starting to lose a little bit of everything here. Lost everything barring this infantry unit on top of the city, who should capture the property next turn. Judy looks like will not be able to stop the capture of that comm tower. Rig, medium tank. Good strike there onto the tank. Anti-air will be at 6 health next turn, so maybe it'll get some good damage from that battlecopter. Oh, at least will. And then Judah can start getting some more salvage up here by just trying to kill off all the infantry units. Does get trapped there, very nice, and does protect the battlecopter to a certain degree, but the anti-air cannot range it, so this infantry unit is away, so Judy may need to gamble, get this tank right here, and then engage, and then use command tank to fight it, so the anti-air can get on top of the planes to shoot the battlecopter. Because right now she needs to either take out this infantry. Oh, that apparently was able to range it. My bad. I clicked on, looking at the red squares and then realized, oh yeah, you have to move it first. Judy right now has 20,000 in the field versus 26,000. Got a full battleship now pulling the field. Remember, there's good number of shores here, so hard to traverse all the way down the channel. Tank. The command tank's almost down. Could just probably merge it, or just fall back to the city to get a little extra healing going. The full health battlecopter now is going to cause some issues. And the anti-air is stuck here, and I don't think there's any way for Judy to take out the infantry unit that get it freed. Oh, maybe it does. Never mind, she did. Anti-air medium tank. Good interrupt there. Battlecopter's pushing up north. Cyrus right now has 112 versus Judy's 204. So she has a massive lead at the moment. Economically, they only have 1,000 difference, so overall Judy's been taking some great engagements, plus the salvage has been quite nice. And her command tank is still alive, though it will be at 1 HP at the moment. More precisely, 10% HP. Medium tank anti-air battlecopter. Good strike there, takes out the tank. Command tank almost goes down. Cyrus right now is at 12 energy. And it looks like the command tank is pushing down south. Didn't get much salvage or really any up there. Good strike on the anti-air. So Nasek is super energetic right now this replay. I did not get much sleep last night. So I'm a little bit drowsy at the moment. Got triple tank now floating in the field. Capture some more of the properties. Does find the now 1 health HP tank. Did leave it with 5% health, so it's not close to being picked off. Cyrus could eye for some anti-tanks here. Anti-tanks, of course, very slow. Be a bit of time to get them on the front line. Tank, 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 battlecopter. Oh, we got a temporary... Oh, she's going temporary seaports to push the battleship down even further, which still won't be very useful since she's already pushed pretty far forward. Good shot there onto the meteorite. Okay, some nice little picks up there. Got battlecopter, recon, medium tank, and infantry. Cyrus right now is at 30 energy, so he does get +1 CO zone. Infantry, anti-tank, recon, battlecopter. Couple of 1 health infantry just lurking around. Does spot that one. Battleship can now traverse down south. 4 more tiles, at least, for the winter. He has a great strikes there, so I can clean up a large amount of these units. Put some rounds even the gunboat. Does not knock it out. Does knock it out. Does clean up some of these units here, but I think Blue's counterattack would be quite severe. Does get trapped, and Red decides to resign. This ain't great saying. Thank you for watching, and on to next replay. As I mentioned beforehand, I am not doing all too well staying awake. I shall call the stream a little bit early today, so everyone, thank you for watching.